had been a noisy night. Katie discovered that when the phone rings at 3 in the morning, it surprises you. Orbie learned that when a new baby is being born, everybody rushes around and can't find things. And they both learned that a new baby makes exciting things happen. Dad had to drive Jenny to the hospital because Greg was working on the other side of the city. Jenny and Greg were their new neighbors. Mom and Katie and Orbie wrapped baby gifts. Tomorrow the baby would be home, and they would go for a visit. Orbie was trying to wrap a pair of baby booties. They looked like socks, but they were really thick. When Orbie burbled that they didn't look like boots, Mom told him that babies didn't wear real boots right away. Katie was wrapping a sleeper for the baby to snuggle up in. Mom had a baby's bath and was trying to wrap it with a teddy bear sitting up in it. They all laughed every time the bear slipped into the tub. Then Orbie had a great idea. Why not tape the bear down to the bottom of the tub and take the tape off before the baby uses it? Mom pointed out that Orbie was very clever. Everybody helped, and soon it looked like the bear was sitting in a bath of wrapping paper. The next day, Katie and Orbie could hardly wait until it was time to visit the new baby. Mom explained that there are certain visiting new baby rules. One was that you have to be quiet. Babies aren't used to hearing loud noises, and it scares them. The two friends understood. The next one was that you didn't touch the baby unless Mom or Dad said so. Babies were very precious and needed very special care. Katie and Orbie smiled. The last one was that a mummy is very tired after having a baby, and so the visit needs to be short. The two friends understood and were ready to go. When they arrived at the house, Greg opened the door. He told Katie and Orbie that they were the very first visitors that he and Jenny had had at home. Katie and Orbie both felt very important. Greg took them into the living room. Jenny was sitting on a big chair holding the new baby. To tell you the truth, Orbie didn't even notice that she had a baby in her arms. He thought it was a blanket. It was a blanket, but inside was the very thing all the fuss was about. Katie was very quiet and asked Jenny if she could please take a peek. Jenny motioned to the two friends to come over. She couldn't wait to show them. When they got there, Jenny pulled the blankets back. Katie and Orbie looked at the tiny little person inside. Neither of them had ever seen someone so small. Orbie wanted to know if she could talk yet. Jenny laughed and said it would take her months before she could do anything like that. She did make lots of noise, though, and the one she made the most was crying. Katie was surprised. Why did the baby cry, she wanted to know. Greg explained that it's the baby's way of telling you what she wants and needs. That's what she uses for words until she learns some. Katie beamed. She was very impressed. Then she asked Jenny what the baby's name was. Jenny told her that the name they chose was Megan. Orbie tooted softly that there already was a Megan. Jenny smiled and said that sometimes people have the same names. Katie told Orbie that they would call this Megan Little Megan. I think Little Megan liked it because she wiggled and opened her eyes. Katie looked at them and the baby seemed to look right back. Katie said, "Hi, Little Megan." Orbie softly snorkeled the same thing. The baby smiled. Katie whispered to Jenny that she thought maybe Little Megan liked them. Jenny told them she was sure she did. Jenny pulled the blanket back some more, and Katie and Orbie saw two teeny tiny hands. At first they were clenched in a fist, but then Little Megan opened them up and they saw her tiny but long fingers. Jenny told Katie and Orbie they could touch the baby's hand if they wanted to. Katie and Orbie looked back at Mom, and Mom nodded. When they touched her hands, the baby did an extraordinary thing. She wrapped her fingers around Katie and Orbie's fingers, and she held tight. The two friends thought that Little Megan was wonderful. Greg assured them that she was. Jenny asked if Katie and Orbie would like to see the bedroom that she and Greg prepared for little Megan. Orbie tooted. He couldn't wait to see the toys she had. Did she have a train or a rocking horse or... Jenny giggled and headed up the stairs. Megan is just a little bit too young for those kinds of things, Jenny said. She explained that babies need special toys. In the baby's room, there were bright colors and a big picture painted on the wall. Little Megan had toys in her crib, and Orbie looked at them. Some had funny shapes and made rattling noises. Katie told them they were rattles. Orbie wondered if you used the rattle to play games with. But Greg explained that the rattle was for shaking. Little Megan liked to make music sometimes. When she moved her hand, she shook the rattle. Orbie was very impressed that little Megan was a musician. Some other toys were stuck right on the side of the crib because little Megan was too small to hold them up herself. Katie noticed a wonderful mobile hanging from the crib. It had a key attached to it. Jenny asked Katie to wind the key because the mobile played music. When she did, the baby kicked her feet as the music played. Katie thought she might be a dancer one day. Orbie wanted to know if little Megan liked eating chocolate cake. Jenny smiled and told Orbie that she just liked milk. She showed the two friends that little Megan didn't have any teeth yet. She would have to grow some. In the living room, Orbie gave the baby the booties. Jenny slipped them on, and little Megan kicked her feet. Orbie tooted softly. Little Megan liked her boots. Katie gave the sleeper. Jenny told Katie that she would sleep in it that night. When Dad slid the bath over, Jenny and Greg laughed. They loved the bear and the bath and the sleeper and the booties. Soon it was time to say goodbye to little Megan. When Katie kissed her tiny hand, little Megan looked right at her. Katie told Jenny and Greg that little Megan was the most beautiful baby she had ever seen. And I'm sure that if you had seen her, you would have thought so too. Because you know what? All babies are beautiful.
Did you know? No. Did you know? Did you know? Did you know? There's day and night on the moon. Except one moon day is as long as 14 Earth days. And one moon night is equal to 14 Earth nights. Good thing there's no school on the moon.